Hello everyone and welcome back to the T6 Touring Championship. I hope you have all had a great break and are ready to jump back into some fantastic action we have lined up for you here this evening. We are live from the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, or Monza for short, just north of Milan in Italy for this inaugural round of the second Touring Car Championship. Firstly, we'll be qualifying to set the grid, and then 2 races of 25 minutes each, where the second grid will be a reverse grid for a select amount that we will find out later on towards the end of the first race. My name is Ashley Denman, sat alone in the box this evening as Darragh double booked himself. Tut tut. But bringing you this fantastic stream, and the very championship itself is Which Reverell, who will be keeping everything running behind the scenes. We are in for this. What are we in for this evening? Well, stick around to find out. Get comfortable, get yourself a drink, maybe a little snack, because here we go. Calendar, first of all for you guys. Like I said, rounds 1 and 2 here are at Monza. We then head over to Hungaroring for 3 and 4. Long Beach, 5 and 6. Back to England for Alton Park, 7 and 8. All the way to the US of A once again for 9 and 10 at the Virginia International Raceway. You then head to Germany for the Oschersleben, 11-12, before we then dip down under to Bathurst, 13-14, and finally ended all on the sandy beaches of Zandvoort, 15 and 16. What a championship we have lined up here. What a calendar we have lined up here. But first of all, we do have the Temple of Speed, Monza, the opening round of this championship. What a venue to unveil this second iteration of this championship. 5.7 kilometers long, or 3.6 miles. That depends on what side of the pond you hail from. With Sir Luke Mitchell, holding the track record currently at a 53.979. Prima Verante, turn 1 and 2. You then got the stretch of turns 3 up to the second chicane there of Seconda Variante, the Lesmos, before you file it all the way back down under the old banked curve for one of the most famous corners in the world, Ascari there, turns 9, 10, and then you're barreling your way right down to the final corner of Parabolica. And the weather for you all this evening, race 1, race 2, looking cloudy to start off with before the sun shines on through to clear things up for the second race afterwards. Temperature roughly equal in both sessions, but like I said, we've got qualifying underway. Cars are out on circuit, and we do have a good selection of front-wheel drive, British touring cars from the drivers of what they can choose from. Currently leading the qualifying session was Callum Wilson. Luke Mitchell now pips the top of the leaderboard, and once again returning where he finished off in the initial championship here, winning the championship on the previous occasion, so he is defending that championship. Many old faces, many new faces as well, lining the grid currently with 25 drivers out there about to do battle in the arena that is Monza. So lots of exciting, thrilling action coming this way very, very soon. And like I say, back to the cars themselves, we do have the Cupra Leon, the Vauxhall Astra, the Ford Focus, Honda Civic, Hyundai 130N, and the Toyota Corolla. So quite a selection to choose from, and I'm sure the drivers will be able to put their best foot forward and put their talents on show to see what they can do in this championship. But it all starts here, the first round once again, where we see roughly where they're all going to line up. Just 3 minutes left here in qualifying. Like we said, Luke Mitchell currently on provisional pole, but not far away and very much knocking on the door is Herlock in second, only 24 hundredths back before you then get to Callum Wilson in third. That is your top 3, but it is also close with Jordan Osborne, new driver Chris Gravett in 5th currently, Vad Takarev in 6th. And then we have Fraser Hart 7th, Carlo Messina 8th, Michael Clough is 9th, Bruno Reino is currently rounding out that top 10 at the moment, but the lap times are all looking rather close together. And here we're currently on board with David Zerwes, returning from last year. And then we're going to move on over, though, to current driver on the circuit, Roman Barthez, racing for Esport Racing Argentina. currently P22 at the moment, but he is on a bit of an improvement here as he rounds Parabolica, the final corner. Where's it going to put him though as he crosses the line? Just trying to find his name. There's so many to pick out now. It's hard to find them all. I can't quite see where he went. Definite improvement though, either way, that's for sure. As we're then going to move on over here though to Michael Clough, Unlimited Esport. So a few driver changes even in the teams themselves. Through the Ascari chicane, they're clipping all the apexes. It's good to see you can attack the curbs. Some cars do not like that, and normally you end up finding yourself facing the wrong direction afterwards, but not these. The good old plucky touring cars able to attack them rather aggressively, and you tend to find that is the fastest way around some of these circuits. You're trying to shorten it as much as you can to really gain the time around the final corner and up to the line. What has Michael got in his locker? Currently 9th. He's on an improving lap though. Goes up to 7th fastest now then. 404 car there. No errors for him this evening, let's hope. As we'll see where Alessandro Cappa then. Mixed wheels. Currently 14th, also on an improving lap here as we're now into the final minute of qualifying. So all comes down to this of where people lining up for the grid to come. Round the Parabolica using all of the road available to him. And then he's going to try and shorten it as much as he can up to the start-finish line. Across he goes, 6th fastest. Brilliant lap there from Alessandro. Big improvement as well. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that indeed. Knocking on the door then of the top 3, not far away as we move over to Vlad, who's just been knocked down to P7 in his Ford. Nice pink livery for the Russian. As he now flying down towards the Parabolica curve. All important braking zone this one. It leads on to the start finish straight. Of course, you're trying to maximize your speed on exit. Slow in, fast out, as they say. Up to the start line now. Where is Vlad going to put that forward? Focus. One improvement, moves up to 6th, so regains that spot that Alessandro took away from him very recently. But the clock has counted to 0, so unless a car is out on circuit finishing their flying lap, I think that is qualifying done and dusted for us here already. And it looks as though Luke Mitchell is going to finish up where he left off last season, taking pole position. Just double check there is no one else. Oh, here we go. Bruno up to the line. Has he found an improvement? Was 12th, stays 12th as well. No improvement for Bruno there, but still a very respectable time nonetheless. Okay, we've got a few more cars still out there. Fabian here. Michelin. We'll go Michelin. Osmo Wear Esport. Nice little livery there. Brilliant. Got a lovely face on the front, and he's trying to maybe scare the competition out of the way. Let's see if he can make that work for him in the race itself. Currently 13th, unlucky for some, but maybe not for Fabian here. Down towards the Parabolica. One corner to go. So the car is rumbling from side to side as the wheel's trying to find the traction through the long right-hand 180-degree turn up to the start-finish line. Can Fabian improve? That's the big question. No, he can't. Stays 13th and right in the middle of the pack. I think one driver left, Nick Lowe, still out there, but wasn't on an improving lap, so he stays 15th in his Vauxhall as well. That is qualifying done now, so all the drivers have done their very best, and here are the results for it. Luke Mitchell takes pole position once again. He did it at the first round of the last season. He's done it again here. Oh, sorry, he didn't. Sorry, he took the win, though. So let's see if he can replicate that at least, but takes pole position for the first round. Daniel Hurlock is 2nd with Chris Grevitt 3rd, Callum Wilson 4th, Jordan Osborne in 5th, and Vlad Tarkarev is 6th. Alessandro Cappa 7th, Michael Clough 8th, Fraser Hart 9th, and Alon Axon rounding out the top 10. 11 you have Carlo Messina. Bruno Reina is 12th with Fabien Michelin 13th. Anton Temenga returning once again in 14th, and Nick Lowe is 15th. Christian Diaz-Emil is 16th with Francesco Caravello 17th. Riley Koenig is 18th with David Zerwes 19th, and Jaroslav Fides 20th. Last few here, Simon Trebek 21st, Roman Barthez is 22nd, Emmanuel Bibiloni, apologies there, 23rd, with Radia Uhalau 24th, and Wilhelm Westerhoff 25th, and rounding out the grid here this evening. There will be a short warm-up here, about 3 minutes of that, before we get set to the grid. We'll have one lap around, the warm-up lap as they refer it as, and then we'll be standing start for the race itself. 25 minutes around this iconic, historical circuit that is Monza. I guess we should also talk about prizes for this championship, as the drivers are just sort of getting to grips with their car a little bit further, getting used to the conditions out there. But the championship prizes at the end of the season, first place will pick up £120. Brilliant. I'd love to have that if it was me. Unfortunately, I'm not quite quick enough in the car. Second place will pick up a fantastic 75, with third picking up 50. And prizes doesn't stop there, it does go down to fourth as well, and fifth. Fourth place will pick up £35, while fifth will bring home 20 in their back pocket. And a team prize will of course be rewarded to the best team, and they will pick up £50 as well. So it does pay to play the team game. Of course, you're looking for that Drivers' Championship as well, but we will yet to find out how it all looks, because we've got the initial round coming up very shortly as we take a look at the track information once again. We can see they're quite a long circuit for what is a touring car, in my opinion, but it is so fast. You're on the throttle for the majority of the lap. I think it's somewhat 80% in a Formula 1 car. I'd imagine it's not that far off in a touring car either, so they're going to be foot flat to the floor for a lot of this. It does mean lower tyre wear, heavy braking zones, so watch out for the overtakes. The slipstream is also going to be very high, so look out for turn 1 and 2, 4 and 5, even turn 9 and 10. They're all the points that have been pointed out, I should say, if you pardon that, on the track map. Those are going to be your best overtaking opportunities, but you can't count out turn 11 here, the famous Parabolica, a heavy braking zone in its own right, and without the aero pushing these cars to the deck, you do need to get it slowed down and turn it in nice and gently and get progressively back on the power to maximise your exit here onto the start-finish straight, and of course right into another overtaking zone of turn 1 and 2, as we said. All to play for everyone out there. Plenty of drivers up for the challenge, and we get to see how they stack up against each other as well. It's going to be fascinating to watch, see if we get any new faces up in and amongst it. That would be brilliant to see. Or will we see the old guard able to fend off for another year? That's going to be the big question, and we'll find out as the championship goes deeper and deeper. Just slowly finishing off the warm-up here, less than a minute, less than a minute to go now roughly. And maybe we should have a little mention of our sponsors. Two big main ones. We've got Phoenix Sim Racing, a non-profit organisation set up designed to help and support people with disabilities get into motorsport with their adaptive systems to accommodate their requirements, albeit through eSports, sim racing, and even out on real tracks in real cars. And warm-up laps are done and dusted. I'll quickly mention also our other fabled sponsor. We've got Demon Tweaks, who are able to offer the most complete and innovative, there we go, motorsport, car tuning, motorcycle product range around the world. No matter if you're trying track days for the first time or a seasoned racer looking for the latest racewear, Demon Tweaks have the products for you. So thank you, Demon Tweaks and Phoenix Sim Racing. Right. Not long now then, and we will get going under some green conditions here for the first round. Drivers on the grid. Of course, we've got the warm-up lap to come first of all. Just waiting for the last few cars, and we can give you a rundown once more of the grid. You can see it there on the timing tower, but as they march it round, we can tell you row by row where they're going to be. Got some lovely green liveried cars out there, some brilliant pinks as well, purple I can see, oranges. Any colour you think of, it's probably got its place on the grid. Blue there as you look further back as well. We saw some oranges I think on a car as they came out onto the circuit themselves. So as they make their way down to turn 1 for the first time of this warm-up lap, maybe Rich will be lovely enough to bring us through the grid for this race. So on the front row, like we said earlier for qualifying, Luke Mitchell with Daniel Hurlock alongside. And for the second row, Chris Grevitt and Callum Wilson. Third row, Jordan Osborne with Vlad Tokarev, sorry, apologies, I will get there. And then for the fourth row, Alessandro Cappa with Michael Clough. Next row back will be Fraser Hart with Alan Axon, and then behind them is Carlo Messina and Bruno Reinho. Following them will be Fabian Michelon with Anton Temenga, 13th, 14th, and Nick Lowe and Christian Diaz-Amil will be 15th and 16th on their row. Behind them is going to be Francesco Caravello with Riley Koenig, 17th and 18th. And 19th and 20th is David Zerwes with Jaroslav Fides. 21st and 22nd we have Simon Trebek with Roman Barthez, and 23rd, 24th, Emmanuel Bibiloni and Radio Uhalau. And on the final row on their own is Wilhelm Westerhoff. So he has everything to win in this race. All the opportunities are in front of him, and anything will be a win. And I think we timed that pretty much to perfection there, Rich. We're coming round the back straight towards Parabolica once again. This is becoming a very common camera angle we're looking at here for the moment. That will all change, of course, when the race gets going. One corner, they'll line up on the grid, and they'll get focused, settled in to the racing mind themselves. Triple fours there for, I believe it's Callum Wilson. That certainly looks as though in his Honda. Representing the Civic. Nice to see there's a few different manufacturers there in the top half actually. Shows just how competitive all these British touring cars are. But here they are, lining up on the grid, so we wait for all the cars to get into their grid slots. Let's hope they've warmed those tyres, got those brakes up to temperature, and are ready for this first 25 minutes. It's not all won here in the first corner or the first race itself. It is a long calendar and many races to come, but it's always good to start off on the right foot. Waiting for the last few cars to get into place, and we will get ready to go. Cars are revving up. You can hear the lights blaring away. It's all coming down to this. They're out and away they go. What a fantastic start there from Daniel. Rapid off the line. He's already going to be ahead of Mitchell into the first corner. Callum Wilson still third with Grevitt in fourth for the minute as they plummet their way down towards the first corner. There's contact in the background. Big action going on there. But Daniel Hurlock easy into turn 1. Had no trouble getting ahead into the first corner. Luke Mitchell manages to hold on to second. Callum Wilson is up to third. Grevitt still fourth. Then we have Michael Clough, up 3 positions from his starting block. Jordan Osborne, Kappa, Tokarev, Hart, Axon. Not many changes further down in the midfield there, but plenty further back. All gaining positions as they're still trying to vie for space on the track as they plummet their way to the second chicane now. It's pretty much going single file, and this is where you'll see the slipstream come into play. The train is forming up. Plenty of green out there, on and off the circuit. But there is also a sprinkling of the rainbow mixed in. Pink, red. There is blue as Alessandro Cappa there looking pretty good behind Jordan Osborne. As this is now the slipstream coming into full effect. Daniel got the start he wanted. He's taken the early lead, but he's going to have to watch it. He's got a defending champion right up under his bumper, hungry for another. Callum Wilson also there in the fight, top 3, already pulling out a little bit of a gap. Chris just struggling there in fourth ever so slightly. The gap only 0.7 seconds, but that's quite a big margin in a touring car. The slipstream though should help them come back down towards Parabolica for the first time. Any moves further on in the background? Doesn't look to be at the moment. Here's Vlad, P8. Tasty little battle that's forming here already for sort of 5th down to 8th. Michael Clough, Jordan Osborne, Alessandro Cappa and Vlad Tokarev. Over the start-finish line, here we go. Potentially side by side down the first corner there. The teammates here, Christian fighting alongside. They're going to be side by side, I think, still towards turn number 1. Nope, he's managed to get ahead. Teammate backing out, playing the sensible game, but these two further forward. Vlad's managed to get the move done on Alessandro into turn number 1, so he picks up P7 once again. And can he go chasing after Jordan, the next car? Daniel Hurlock still leading for this second lap. Luke Mitchell unable to find a way through at the closing stages of the first. Callum Wilson still rounding out the top 3. There's no changes there. Chris Grevitt still 4th. Michael Clough, no change for 5th at the moment. And then we're looking at this battle for 6th, 7th and 8th. This is the one we're looking at for 11th here. So this is Carlo Messina on the back of Alan Axon for 10th. Down towards the Ascari chicane for the second time. Everything looking neat and tidy so far. That will all, of course, change, and no doubt in my mind, as we get the laps drawing on, the clock counting down as we get towards the end of the first race. And of course, anywhere from the top 6 to the top 12 can be on that reverse grid. It all does play into the hands of a bit of randomness, as that's a rather wide line there for Luke Mitchell through the Parabolica, maybe just trying to give himself a bit of a distance between him and Daniel Hurlock. Doesn't want to get too much of a slipstream and maybe go for the move. Quite happy there, clearly in second position. Callum Wilson sticking with, and then you do have a little gap back to Chris Grevitt in 4th, but we're still looking on board here with P8 of Alessandro Cappa, as he is very much in a scrap here between Vlad and Hart. I say that Fraser Hart slightly off the back, so we're looking here in fact at Jordan Osborne, Vlad Tokarev and Alessandro Cappa through turn number 3 up towards the second variante, second chicane here. Heavy braking zone, good chance to overtake, but you need the slipstream, you need to be alongside. It's very hard to make a lunge. All of these drivers top class, and they are able to manipulate the brakes to do so as well. Jaroslav Vajc here having a good battle though with David Zerwes, Nick Lowe just in front of them as well. You've got Simon Trebek also behind in 19th. This is a 4-way battle then for P16 as it stands. You then got a bit of a gap in front to Temenga, but these guys are certainly going to not give each other any inch of room, because they are definitely going to give it their all right to the very end, even if it is for the slightly lower places than some of the others. And I'll have to double check where points go down to. I want to say it's P15, but maybe I can find out for you at the end of the first race, and then we can bring it for you for the second. Keeping you all up to date, no doubt. Back on board here though with Vlad Tokarev. P7 still currently in his Ford. And his very lovely pink car indeed. Looks like he could be picking up a nice slipstream here from the guy in front. That's going to be Jordan Osborne. Jordan Osborne looking to go for a slightly defensive line. Will probably come back to the racing line though, just covering off Vlad behind, but he massively closed up into the braking zone. Can he get a good exit? That's going to be the important factor, because now he's got a long run down to turn 3. It's a sweeping right-hander, but you are foot flat to the floor for the entire time. Can you get a good slipstream? Because then you've got a chance into the second chicane, turns 4, 5. He's looking closer in the rear view mirror, I'm sure, of Jordan's car. He's going to make him go the long way. Jordan goes defensive, and that is attack called off then for that corner, but he's still right there, tucked up and under the bumper of that Honda. tickling the tailpipe of that car. Almost touching, almost pushing him round the first Lesmo. Same here for the second. This could be potentially 2 positions up for Kappa behind as well. He's right there in the mix. Down towards the Ascari chicane. Very tricky to pull off a move into that corner. Turn 9, turn 10, then 11. They all come at you so fast. It's very tricky to really make one stick. Top 3 do seem to be sort of running away a little bit. Callum Wilson losing a small amount of touch with the overall 1 and 2. Chris Gravitt still there or thereabouts. The small gap that's opened up between him and Michael Clough as that's a move down the inside of Temenga. Don't think he's really able to put up a fight there from Fabian. Michelin took full advantage of that and has now found his way up into P14. Very nice move from the Frenchman. But it's all going to come back. Anton Temenga, slipstream in activation, pulls out of it now to try and get alongside. Can he retake the position into the braking zone of turn 1? He's gone very deep into it, but they both clipped the apex nicely, and Temenga unable to get alongside enough to really have a look at getting past. He'll look to pick up the slipstream once again round that corner, but looking further back, there's a battle here going on for P22. That's Westerhoff getting past Roman Barthez there. It might be for some lower positions, but the competition is still fierce between these guys. They will not give anybody any racing room if they don't have to, but they'll of course keep it all within the confines of the rule book. He's going to make him go the long way round, but he's going to do it. Roman Barthez round the outside into the second chicane. What a fantastic move. Late on the brakes, showed him where he was going to stick that car and made it stick. Back up further forward, Alessandro Kappa, still 8th and still looking at the back of lad's pink Ford. He's now got a little bit of company himself though in Fraser Hart behind. One of the only red cars on the grid as far as I can see. There's a yellow one further back there. There's a lot of green I can see this season. Various colours of it though, so that is nice. Still easily able to differentiate one or the other. Alessandro's home Grand Prix here for the Italian. Maybe hoping that that's going to play a little bit of an advantage. As we jump back here though to Emanuele Bibiloni. He had a car down his inside, but got the up and under back on him, so retaking that position, and it's going to be a drag race now down towards turn number 1. That's Radio Uhalau in the blue and orange, quite literally Honda, and they're still going to be side by side to turn number 1. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? That's going to be the biggest question. They're still both side by side into turn 1. Small amount of door banging, that's a-okay. Oh, that's a bit too much though. Half spin there for Bibiloni. Just about managed to collect it up, and all cars still facing in the right direction and fighting forward. Brilliant stuff from those guys. Back to Fraser Hart up in P9, chasing down the 3 in front of him. You've got Kappa, you've got Tokarev, you've got Osborne, and not far in front of them either is Michael Clough. All well within striking distance, you could say. As we've got just over 14 minutes left now in this race, so the laps do go by quite fast, and so does the clock. It counts down what feels like, well, nothing at all. Feels like we've only had 12 seconds almost of this race rather than 12 minutes. I'm over exaggerating, of course, but you get the point. Tokarev looking left, right, out of the Ascari chicane. Osborne not having any of it though, firmly planting the Unlimited Esports car to the inside line. He's going to make the rush and go the long way round, but can he do it? Where is the grip out there? It's certainly on the inside line, because that's very wide from the Russian. That's opened the door up behind for Hart. That's also opened the door up for Kappa as well, as they find their way through. Hart not quite able to make it through, sorry, but he is right there on the bumper of Vlad. Oh, this is going to get dicey. Is it going to be potentially free wide into turn one? Kappa's also lining up. Osborne there to turn one. Osborne firmly in the middle of the circuit, though, so no real way past. Hart down the inside of Vlad. Gets the move done as well. Nice overtake there for Fraser Hart. Moves on up one, but Vlad is not done yet. He's going to be coming back with a vengeance. Can he pick up enough of a slipstream? That is the question. Abian Michelon, Osmos UK Esport, and like we say, trying to scare away potentially some of the competition with the little image on the front, but either way, him and his teammate of Christian 13th, 14th respectively, both in a little battle of their own. Michelon has Temenga right behind him for company, one doing the attacking, the other doing the defending, being a little bit of a dynamic duo here at the moment. Can Temenga find the slipstream, find the pace out of the corner to get alongside the Vauxhall? I don't think it's going to be here into Ascaris. He's going to have to nail this section, get the all-important traction out of the exit, and then see if he can make it work down to Parabolica. Failing that, down to turn one. All keeping it in the confines of the track limits. Very neat and tidy from everyone out there so far. Been a very, very good race. Down to Parabolica. Temenga had a little look. You just saw him briefly dip out. David Zerwes has got company though for himself. He's going to have to try and hold it around the outside. And whoa, that was very close between him and Nick Lowe in 16th. Trying to go down the inside. David was having none of that. And just about manages to hang on though for another lap. On the run to turn one. Slipstream, of course, being the order of the day. No way past this time though. David Zoas still 16th and hanging on to it from Nick Lowe behind in 17th. As we jump back up to the quartet once again, which I think is being spread out slightly into two duos. Fraser Hart 8th, Vlad Tokarev is 9th, with Osborne and Kappa 6th and 7th. You've got the two battles you can see here on your screen now. Into the first Lesmo, quick right-hander. Very, not a massive amount of braking. You're managing the momentum of the car. Very old school style of racing in that regard, where the brakes and the acceleration are not that great, but of course this is modern machinery, so it's a little bit more finesse, if you like. But Vlad definitely got a better exit out of the second Lesmo. This isn't one you see very often into Ascari. Are they going to go side by side? Surely not, and no! Vlad sweeps around and knocks Fraser Hart back down to 9th. What a move there from the Russian. Retakes 8th, and he's definitely on a bit of a charge here to the next car as well. Alessandro's going to have to keep an eye in his wing mirrors, because that pink Ford is definitely closing him down, but I think he's also got his sights firmly fixed in front. Jordan Osborne doing a stellar job at defending 6th position so far. Absolutely mega. Round Parabolica they go. Starting lap number 9 for themselves. Daniel Hurlock still leading from Luke Mitchell. The gap between them, not much at all. Callum Wilson still third. Then you've got Grevet in 4th. Michael Clough is 5th. Gap's opening up a little bit. You've got this battle here for 6th and 7th between Jordan Osborne and Alessandro Kappa. Vlad's getting back involved as well as Fraser Hart as well. So the duos now become a quartet once again from 6th down to 9th. You then get a little gap back to Axon in 10th. Then you have Messina, Reno 12th, Diaz-Emil 13th, Michel on 14th, Temenga 15th, Zerwes, Lowe, Trebek, Fies, Barthez, Bibiloni, Uhalau, Westerhoff, Carvelo, and Koenig. Less than 10 minutes. That's wide there from Alessandro out of the first Lesmo. Let's hope it doesn't cost him too much momentum, dipping a tyre into the gravel. That's even more tyres into the gravel. That's surely going to cost him a little bit now on exit. absolutely pushing the limits of the circuit and the car. Doesn't seem to lose too much though, that's important for him into Ascari. These guys have been oh so close for comfort the entire race. You can throw a blanket over them. Down to Parabolica, not really the best overtaking opportunity, but it is one if you can get it right on the brakes. Alessandro opting to stick behind though, he's looking for that all-important exit. Takes a slightly tighter line as well, so shorter circuit for him. But it's a matter of whether Osborne had the momentum round the outside, carried the speed a bit more. Slipstream once again coming into play. Can he get alongside that Honda, the lime green Honda of Osborne? No, he cannot. Braking zone turn one, no change so far, but they are bumper to bumper, all four of them. Incredibly close racing action here, doing an incredible job not to make contact. Through turn three, Biasono. And then up to 4-5, the second chicane. Still no change here with these guys. They get close, but not quite close enough to get a wheel alongside their back one. And Kappa's Cupra there doing a stellar job. Hart, a little wide there in the background, might lose a small amount of momentum. Oh, they're all very wide there, pushing the limits once again, trying to find as much momentum as they can through that second Lesmo, because they know it's all important down towards Ascari. It's tricky to overtake there, but it's still doable. This is riding on board with Temenga. Has he been finally able to get past Michelin? I think he has. To Ascari, definitely cementing the position there of P14. Now, can he go after Michelin's teammate of Diaz Emil? I think this is the move here. Osborne in the middle of the circuit. He's got a car side by side. It's free wide down towards Parabolica. They single file it out just about. Osborne still leading from Kappa, from Tokarev. Hart in the background, biding his time, looking for the opening himself. They're still going to be side by side as they cross the line. This is it. Could this be the chance to finally get past Osborne's Honda? Back to single file. Will we see Kappa pull out of the slipstream and go for the move? Not quite close enough. Hart's having a little look. Oh, he's so close to the back of Tokarev. Still no change though. And we've got just over 5 minutes left. Not long now. Round turn number 3. Up to 4. Can Kappa find a way? He's trying desperately. He really needs Osborne to either make a small error or just get a slight bit better momentum. Here's the chance though, into the first Lesmo, side by side. You don't see this all that often. Can he find a way past? Yes, he can. Is Vlad going to do him as well? Osborne boxed in. They're side by side in the second Lesmo. Osborne just about hanging on to it. Vlad losing a bit of extra speed, and now Hart's through. Finally though, Kappa has gone through. He's 6th position. The big question, can he hold it? Try again. Many times unable to do it, but he never quit. He stuck at it. Finally got past. Has he got the pace to pull away? Can he even close into the next car? That's going to be some doing with less than 4 minutes on the clock. But Alessandro Kappa, the Italian stallion, doing his very best. I can also tell you and confirm for the reverse grid for the next race, we have a top 7. So the top 7 drivers from where they finish in race 1 here will be reversed. So as it stands, Jordan Osborne has actually got reverse pole position, so he might not know it yet, but if he can hang on to it, he will be a very happy man indeed for the second race to come. I think Kappa's going to be happy either way, because at this rate he will be starting on the front row. And he's got past Osborne, which he was desperately trying for so many laps. Can Osborne defend P7 now from Fraser Hart, who is behind him in 8th? Vlad's still not out of it either. Brilliant, close racing action. We haven't seen much of the top two, but they've been keeping it close as well. Only 4 tenths separating the pair of them. That's Daniel Hurlock and Luke Mitchell. Luke Mitchell with the fastest lap as well here in race 1 at the moment. Still time to change all that though. 2.5 minutes. From my clock, or from my calculations, we've got 2 laps left. This one and 1 more. It depends when they cross the line. It could still be this one and 2 more. Here is the battle for P1 though. We haven't seen a lot of it because there has been so much action further down the field, but these guys have been nose to tail the entirety of this race. As here comes Temenga now, trying to get past Christian. Once again doing it at the Ascari chicane, so maybe catching him a little bit unawares and by surprise. They're going to be side by side though for the Parabolica. Christian down the inside, still holding that advantage of the inside line. He's going to have to make Temenga go wide. Can Temenga hold the speed though on that outer line? Here it comes, the drag then down towards turn number 1. Temenga no doubt having extra pace, holding the momentum well, and pulls in front of Christian to take that spot. So P13 now for Temenga. Managing to get past both the Osmo Ware drivers, as this is the battle then for P1. Luke Mitchell, P2, still down the inside then of the second chicane. Daniel Hurlock going to try and hold the inside line. Here is a bit of a bump over the sausage curb, and now going to have to slot in behind Luke Mitchell into the first Lesmo. Luke Mitchell finally getting the move done after lying in wait for so long. Less than a minute. I didn't get to clock if this was the final lap or not. We'll find out by keeping an eye on this battle and the clock itself. Slipstream effect now for Hurlock. Can he get back ahead into the Ascari chicane? Yes, he does. Pulls in front of Luke Mitchell now. It's going to be the all-important exit of Ascari. I think this is the final lap for these guys. 30 seconds left on the clock. Still got a straight, another corner, which is the fabled 180-degree Parabolica, and then a fair run up to the line. Slipstream in massive effect. Could all come down to this final corner. They're going to be side by side into it. Mitchell going to have to hold the long line of it. Hurlock with the advantage of the inside line. Has Mitchell gone too wide though? He's off the circuit. He's going to be far too wide to even make an attempt to getting back through. Hurlock now running up to the line. Is there one more lap or is this it? There's the clock. It's close. I think we might have one more lap. It was touch and go. My word. We've got one more lap. One more single lap. How close was that? You couldn't have called it any closer. This gives Luke Mitchell a massive opportunity then. One more lap to try and take the win. They're all still full throttle. Alan Wilson still sitting in 3rd. Chris Gravett is 4th. He's closed that gap slightly to Wilson, but with a 2nd, I still think it might be too much. Still looking at the battle here for P1. 4 tenths separating these guys. Definitely in striking distance here for Luke Mitchell. We'll come back to the action very briefly. Looking back here, Fraser Hart having a battle still with Jordan Osborne. That battle has not gone anywhere. Down the inside, potentially, there's a bit of contact. That might have been a little bit of a swipe as Osborne tried to make his way into the chicane. That may go to stewards after the race, but either way, Osborne still holds the position in 7th. Reverse grid pole still. I think Vlad was trying to get in on that as well. We're going to jump it right back to the leaders because this is the final time through Ascari then for race number 1. Hurlock holding the advantage. It's 4 tenths of a second. Is that too much for Luke Mitchell to close? It's going to be telling on the exit. Is that gap going to start decreasing? Sitting in the slipstream. I don't think it's going to be enough. The gap's holding at 4 tenths of a second. Grevitt behind, got it down to 7 tenths between him and Wilson, but I don't think that's going to be enough either at all. Unless any of these guys make a mistake, but I think it's going to be plain sailing for Herlock in the end. One extra lap, but it didn't phase him because he's going to be the winner of the opening round then. Second to first, and Luke Mitchell, he took pole, but couldn't quite convert it to the win. As then Wilson third, Grevitt fourth, Clough came home fifth. This is the battle for seventh then. Osborne just about going to take it home and take the reverse grid pole. Hart eighth, Tokarev ninth, Axon comes home 10th, Messina 11th. Rainho 12th, Tamenga a magnificent 13th in the end. Diaz-Emil, Michelon teammates 13th, 14th, Zerwis 16th, Lowe 17th, Trebek 18th, Fides 19th. As we then have a little bit of a gap back to the next cars. Vesterhoff 20th, Uhalau will come home in 21st, Barthez, Bibiloni, Carvello, and then Koenig will finish at the back. Race number 1. My word, what a result that was. What a race that was. If that is the entire championship, then this is going to be plain sailing, because my word, that was fantastic stuff from everybody involved. And I look forward to it in round 2 as well. My word, brilliant stuff there. Here we go, the final rundown then once again for you. Daniel Herlock takes the opening win for round 1 here at Monza. We've got the second race coming up still. Luke Mitchell second with Callum Wilson third, rounding out your podium sitters there. Then you got Chris Grevitt, Michael Clough, Alessandro Capper, Jordan Osborne, Fraser Hart, Vlad Tokarev, Alan Axon, in top is your top 10. Carlo Messina, Bruno Rainho, Anton Tamenga, Christian Diaz-Emil, Fabian Michelon, David Zerwes, Nick Lowe, Simon Trebek, Jaroslav Fides, Wilhelm Vesterhoff is 11th to 20, and then Radio Uhalau, Roman Barthez, Emmanuel Bibiloni, Francesco Caravello, and Riley Koenig is 21 to 25th. Race 1 underway, Championship, underway. Race 1 done and dusted. We've got another one coming up very shortly, so don't go anywhere, because we're going to have another round of this fantastic Monza circuit coming right up. Hello, welcome back. So, hope you all had a nice little break there, maybe nipped to the bathroom, who knows. We are about to get underway here for race number 2, and of course we have that lovely reverse grid to reveal to you, where all the drivers finished in the top 7 will be flipped. Apart from that, it's race results follow on from there. And I did manage to get the points for positions that you finish in. So top 15 will indeed score points. You got 20 points for the winner, 17th for second, 15th for third, and then it trickles on down further on there. 13, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice and simple. If you didn't catch that, I'm sure you can go back, slow down the video, and get a good idea. Either way, cars are lining up on the starting grid. Once again, they'll get their warm-up lap done, and then we'll be ready to race once again. I would like to point out, if you are enjoying it, then please do let us know either via the live chat. Just let us say thanks, or whatever you fancy putting in there. Let us know if you're enjoying it, or indeed even subscribe to the channel that Rich has set up for everything to allow us to put on this show for you all. It's shows a big level of thanks and love to Rich, especially if you do that, something like that, or even a like the video. That always helps as well. But enough of the cheesy plugs. We'll get into the grid, and here we are for the second race then at Monza. Starting order will be Jordan Osborne taking the front step and on the front row with Alessandro Cappa alongside him. Let's see if they can recreate that fantastic lineup. I couldn't quite get the second one, but either way, we've got Callum Wilson, Luke Mitchell on the third row with Daniel Hurlock and Fraser Hart behind them on the 4th, 7th and 8th. 9th and 10th, we've got Vlad Tokarev and Alan Axon is 10th. Carlo Messina 11th and Bruno Reinho is 12th. And behind them for 13th and 14th is Anton Temenga with Christian Diaz-Emil. And the two teammates there, one behind the other on different sides of the grid. Fabian Michelon 15th with David Zoe 16th. 17th and 18th is going to be Nick Lowe and Simon Trebek with 19th, 20th. 20th, Jaroslav Fied with Wilhelm Westerhoff. 21st, 22nd, we have Radio Uhalau and Roman Barthez. And Emmanuel Bibiloni is 23rd with Francesco Caravello alongside him for 24th. We've got an extra car here by the looks of it, 25th, 26th, so someone else made their way into the grid. Riley Koenig not on their own at the back, but Basti Shrahe, that's how I'm going to go with it, is going to be 26th and joining us for this second round then. There is your grid rundown. And we are running down towards Parabolica and going to be lining up on the grid then for this second round. And I'm just going to give you a quick highlight of the amount of talent that is actually on this grid. I might run through it more a little bit in the race, but the likes of someone like Luke Mitchell, of course he's the defending champion, but he's also won many other things as well. The VMO BTCC race winner. He's Formula 2 champion as well for the virtual series there. Simon Trebek is also a champion of the BVTCC, that's the British Virtual Touring Car Championship. There's many other drivers. I'll try and get some names in there as well as to their achievements and their sort of status really in this sort of sim racing world that we live in. But this is a very stacked grid when you look at it, so it's really impressive what these guys are able to do. But they're all lining up on the grid. I think we've got a few cars just at the back there, the stragglers, on the warm-up lap. The engines are firing up, the lights are on, and we're getting ready to go here then for round 2. Jordan Osborne's on pole position. Can he get away? Well, we're about to find out, but it looks as though Alessandro's got a magnificent getaway on the inside line there, just like we saw Daniel Hurlock do. It's almost a repeat then from race number 1, from the front 2 down towards turn number 1 now. The chicane, Alessandro Cappa trying to run Osborne a little bit out of room. They're going to be side by side into turn 1. Can Cappa hold it round the outside? It looks as though he's going to. That's gets Callum Wilson round though. A little bit of contact there. He's got it back underway and facing in the right direction, but that's going to cost him some positions. Luke Mitchell's by. Chris Gravett is up into third as well. Callum Wilson dropping a few positions after having what seemed to be a good getaway from the blocks. Vlad Tokarev 6th, Herlock still 7th for the time being. Axon up to 8th. Christian Diaz-Emil has claimed 5 positions there in the opening corners. What a start from him as he is up to 9th, and Michael Clough rounding out that top 10 for the moment. But at the second, Alessandro Cappa with the perfect getaway from the line, had to fight for it into turn 1, but got ahead of Jordan Osborne early on, crucially now, and he leads this race then. The start of the second 25 minutes around Monza. They also have a nice little gap forming back to Chris Gravett in third. Luke Mitchell, runner-up last time, already in 4th and looking racy, and Callum Wilson there not far behind. Herlock has found his way up into 6th past Vlad. Can he continue his way forward as well? Previous race winner now, so he can put that on his CV. Luke Mitchell there, bored about going to the absolute inside line into Parabolica. That's a big car off in the background. That looked to be Fraser Hart. Always carnage as they spin back onto the track. No, no, no. Yellow flag indeed. Hopefully no more get collected. Carlo Messina caught up in that as well. Michael Clough's in there. I think Michelin also got caught up in it. That's going to promote a few more drivers. Oh, that was a big incident. That's pretty much race over for those guys as well. It's so tricky to catch it back up. I wonder if there's any more. Drivers still fighting for it down towards turn number 1, still trying to see what space on the track they can occupy. Simon Trebek here currently in 14th as he rides right behind Niccolo 13th. Roman Barthez, good start there. He's climbed 6 positions on the timing tower, it says there. That's a fantastic start from him. Luke Mitchell then back on board with him in 4th, still chasing Chris Gravett in his I want to say unlimited esports. I'm going to have to double check that one. It is unlimited esports. I've got it bang on the money. Look at me go. As we've got another yellow flag. That's Herlock there wide onto the gravel. Who else is dropping down the order? Caravello's dropped down the order, so he's in the pits. Michelin's in the pits. Not Michelin, sorry. Clough, Messina, Hart, all in pit lane. I think that could be race over for those guys. Appa still leads, having a nice advantage as well. So nearly a second over Osborne, who's got a small advantage over Gravett in 3rd, and he's being hounded by Luke Mitchell in 4th. That's a move from Yaroslav Vides. Oh, it didn't pay off for him. Big moment into Ascari. Bodywork there. Oh, and collects another as well for good measure. More carnage unfolding in Ascari. Dear, oh dear. Complete contrast of race 1 where we had such clean, no contact, should we say. And it's one of those things, you go for the move. It just doesn't quite pay off how you like. And before you know it, you are facing the wall. It's just an unfortunate side effect of racing, but more drivers, I think, are going to be calling it quits and retiring from this race. We'll find out who shortly. Either way, we've still got a lot of action here up front because it is very close here between the top 7. Looking here at Callum Wilson, had that moment in turn 1, was facing the wrong way even almost. He was sideways. Got it corrected. Got going. Kept as much momentum as he could. And he's still in 5th now, so it's he got away with it, shall we say. I think he lost maybe 1. Chris Gravett, I think he's going to be very much fixated on his rear view mirrors because he's got his teammate of Osborne in front. He's going to look to try and help defend him at least, but he's got an absolute monster behind him, you could say. Luke Mitchell, current lap record here for T6 Touring Championship. We saw him finish P2 as Daniel Herlock managed to just about fend him off. And here comes the move now. They're side by side. He got a much better exit out of the second Lesmo. Can he maybe get 2? That's going to be the question. Might be a push. I think he's going to wait for it. Osborne's still 2nd. Luke Mitchell up to 3rd now, though, as Chris Gravett has been overtaken by him through Ascari. Now, all-important exit. Did Luke Mitchell get one? Did Grevitt get one? Or will Osborne still prevail out in front? He's going defensive already, is Osborne. What's Luke Mitchell going to respond with? Wilson just lurking there in the background, along with Herlock and Tokarev as well. Still nose to tail these guys as Kappa tries to run away with it. 1.5 seconds the gap between 1 and 2. Who got a better exit out of Parabolica? Slipstream now once again down the home straight. Luke Mitchell fastest in the middle sector, Grevitt fastest in the first sector on that previous lap. Osborne going super aggressive with his defensing, and now his teammates back through as well. Up through, oh, that's huge from Herlock! Just about skipped through, avoided everyone over the chicane. Did he collect it back up? That's the question. There he is on exit. I think he did, you know. Fantastic car control as this battle still rages on. Luke Mitchell lost the position into turn 1. He's going to try and pick it up again now through turn 3. Osborne lost the position. Grevitt went through. Osborne still defending. Can he defend though from Mitchell? I think he just about managed it. Squeezed him out of room. That's going to allow Callum Wilson to close up on in. Wilson getting a wheel alongside Luke Mitchell down the first Lesmo. Inside line will prevail here 9 times out of 10, and it does again on this occasion. Wilson up then, 1 position in 4th. Luke Mitchell losing out overall and is down to 5th. And now he's got Vlad right up under his bumper, challenging him for that position. Mitchell trying to get back past Wilson. It's all happening here in race number 2. You wouldn't believe we're only on lap 4. Into Ascari. Wilson going to have to slot into the very small gap between Mitchell and Tokarev. Does it though, very skillfully. Herlock rejoined the race in 8th position. So after a very spectacular spin into the turn 1 chicane, avoiding everyone as well, only lost 1 position to Alan Axon, and he's now going to try and retake it down the inside of Parabolica. Absolute planet-sized courage from him to do that, and it's paid off as well. But now the slipstream's going to come back into the favour of Axon. We'll see how that one unfolds as we're still looking at the battle here between Wilson, Mitchell, Tokarev. Could they be free wide into the turn 1 chicane? This is going to get very spicy and interesting. Tokarev brakes first of all. You saw the nose just dip under the braking. Mitchell had the inside line, takes the racing line now and stays ahead just about in 5th, but it's getting awfully close. Herlock managed to hold on to that position he gained through the Parabolica, and Christian Diaz, Emil here, has caught right up to the back of them as well, and he's in the fight. Can confirm and see there Michelin, Westerhoff, Hart, Messina, Fides, Clough, Bibaloni, Caravello, all unfortunately retiring from this race. So 19 downward, no longer a part of it. That does mean you only need to have 3 cars behind you and you're picking up points. Vlad Tokarev, sorry. Tokarev, oh my god. I'll get there eventually. I do apologise, Vlad. Maybe you can help correct me if I am pronouncing it awfully wrong. But either way, you are having a very good race number 2. Small improvement from race number 1 as it stands. Both of them very strong showings as well. Kappa has absolutely run away here. He's almost 3 seconds down the road from Grevitt and Osborne. The 2 teammates there for 2nd and 3rd. Then you have Luke Mitchell now going to have to try and close the gap between them. He's got Wilson right behind him, and obviously Vlad here, we're riding on board with still right there in the mix. Slipstream very much playing a big part here, and those gaps that open up, they normally get closed by the time you get to the end of a straight. Vlad having a look round the outside, he's going to have to go the long way round if he wants to get past Wilson into turn 1. Doesn't back out, but Wilson gets ahead on the brakes. No way through this time by Bruno Reno, 11th for Grow Racing Team. Currently right behind Anton Temenga, Christian Diaz as well. Not much separating these guys, and even when you look at it, Alan Axon right there as well. So this could be another little battle slowly beginning to form between these four drivers indeed. Just under 15 minutes, so just over 10 gone. And action has been rife here in this second race. I think the stewards are going to have their work potentially cut out for them a little bit post-race. No doubt they will all be okay though. I am being told potentially that the guys I've said weren't in the race, I think they potentially still are, but they're a lap down after pitting. I think so. We've only, I think, Rich, you are correct. Yeah, we've got 2 in the pits, which I think are DNFs. The rest are unfortunately a lap down. They are still in the race though, so I do apologise for that. Yes, you can see there Michael Clough still in it, 24th, albeit a little bit battered and bruised, but still has the heart to go on, which is always a big thumbs up from me. You're in it till the very end, no matter where you finish. Anton Temenga, 10th position, currently behind Christian. And definitely having a look now here down towards turn number 1, pulls out of the slipstream. That's a car going slowly. Who is that going slowly as they all file their way past? Find out in a minute. It might be one of the lapped cars we were referring to. Temenga unable to get by though into turn number 1 as I was a bit distracted by the car going slowly, so apologies there. Temenga wasn't happy, flashed his lights at it. And now Reinho round the outside then of turn number 3. He's going to have the inside line then for the second chicane. Has he got the move done already? No, they're still door banging into the braking zone. He's going to cut the corner. Is Temenga couldn't quite get it slowed down enough. He's going to have to give that one up now though. Once again, light flashes, not a happy bunny in the cockpit. Temenga losing another spot, but Reinho will be very happy because he's now in the top 10. Kappa still leading from Gravett, Osborne, your top 3. Luke Mitchell has massively closed that gap up as we look back here to Riley Koenig, 18th position on the back of Shrahe and Radio Uhalau. That's the Shrahi. Either way, they're going side by side. Radio Uhalau going to have the inside line into Ascari, sorry. Is he going to try the up and under? This could be immense from Basti. Has he done that? There's no way. He's just pulled it off. What a move from Basti. Dark Sim Racing. That was immense stuff there. My word, you do not see that often. He's not going to gain anything though because the car behind them, Riley Koenig, managed to weave their way through the pair of them and take 16th position. So it was all for nothing in the end for Basti, but my word, hats off to you. What a move. Nick Lowe here for 14th, currently having a battle with Simon Trebek. And Nick Lowe round the outside into turn 1, late on the brakes and gets it done. Nice move there for Nick as we ride on board with Callum Wilson, currently 5th, and having to look, I believe, in his rear view mirrors from Vlad, but he has also got Luke Mitchell right in his sights as well. They've caught Jordan Osborne now. Jordan Osborne has done some stellar defending race number 1, and he's done it again here for race number 2. He's helped his teammate get a little bit of a gap and a margin in front. 2.1 is now the gap between the pair of them, so Osborne playing the team game here. He's going to have to try and hold up though, one of the fastest drivers in this championship in Luke Mitchell, defending champion as well, so we know he has good racing pedigree. Callum Wilson right there as well, he's a wily fox in all of this. Vlad also running it wide, trying to find as much momentum out of Ascari. I think he found too much, he found the gravel. Still going though. Daniel Herlock 7th once again. and Axon dropping back to 8th, Temenga 9th, and Christian Diaz-Emil is 10th, rounding out that top 10. Through Parabolica, they go on to the home straight to start their lap number 8. And we're just under 10 minutes now. Luke Mitchell in the slipstream, right up and under Osborne's rear wing. Can he find some space here? Osborne definitely going to take that more defensive line. He's parked it right in the middle of the road, though. That is textbook defensive driving there from Jordan Osborne. Luke Mitchell wise to it, though. He looks to try and get a better exit. Looks as though he did, but Osborne just knew where to park that car. The Honda looking as wide as anything at the moment out on circuit. And Jordan Osborne doing a brilliant defensive drive. Mitchell weaving left, weaving right, trying to find some space to get alongside to make a move, has a look, backs out of it, into the second chicane they go. Osborne still leading this little pack in third position. The gap, sorry, up to second between Gravett is increasing. Osborne playing a massive team role here. He's got a little train behind him now as Daniel Hurlock rejoins this group to get right back into the fray. It's on a little wide there in the background. It's not going to hurt him too much as Vlad's going to try his luck down towards the Ascari chicane. Turn 9 coming up. Wilson with the inside line, but it doesn't matter. Vlad's already got the move done past Callum Wilson's car. He's looking very quick through Ascari as well. This is potentially a good chance for Vlad to get another position on Luke Mitchell. He's up to 5th. Can he make it 4th? Jordan Osborne's going to make this tricky for Luke Mitchell. Darts to the left rather rapidly there. Down the inside, they're free wide, there's contact. Can they all stay in one piece? Just about, there's sliding. Wheel spinning, smoke going up. Vlad losing momentum, unfortunately. He's going to be very upset with Wilson from that one as Daniel Hurlock round the outside to claim the position. Hurlock now with the advantage of momentum. Can he get past Callum Wilson? I'm sure he will, down on the run to turn 1. This might be side-by-side action, though, into the corner. Wilson with the early advantage into the right-hander, first of all. Hurlock will have the advantage into the second part of the left-hander, though. Does get his car slightly ahead. Gives him enough racing room on exit. This isn't over. They're going to be potentially 3 cars down towards the next corner. Through turn 3 they go now. Long sweeping right-hander. Wilson, Hurlock, Vlad. All there battling for position. Wilson, Hurlock still side by side. Hurlock early advantage now with the left-hander. Gets in front of Wilson though. Goes a bit deep. Can Wilson get the up and under? I think Hurlock just about planted his car where he needed it. And he does. He keeps the position, so up to 5th for Daniel Hurlock. Luke Mitchell still unable to get past Jordan Osborne. And now you've got the race winner from round 1 right behind you and not a massive margin to close. Tokarev got a brilliant exit out of the second Lesmo. He's already passed Callum Wilson once again. Same move a lap later. Makes it look easy almost out of that second Lesmo. Clearly is doing something that gets the momentum for him. And he keeps it all the way down to Ascari. Gap between Hurlock and Mitchell increasing slightly. It's about 2 seconds now, but Osborne doing still his best defensive drive he can and trying to hold up Luke Mitchell. You can see there in front, Mitchell's had to go the long way round as Hurlock is doing the same thing to Vlad Tokarev. Osborne still in front, Hurlock still in front, Wilson biding his time now in 7th. Mitchell's found the inside line. He's got a wheel alongside the back of Osborne. Osborne's definitely going to try and squeeze him. Oh, what a defensive move there. Mitchell's going to do the up and under, though. How can he get the traction down? It's going to be a drag now towards turn 4 and 5. You're flat through 3. Mitchell still there alongside. This is the chance now for Luke Mitchell, but it may come all too late. We've got 5 minutes left in this race. The gap is 4 seconds to the next car. Osborne's not going to give this up without a fight either. Who's going to be later on the brakes? Mitchell's still there. He's got a small advantage. Osborne does keep it in though. They're still side by side into the Lesmo. Advantage, Osborne has the inside line, but no. Mitchell had the momentum, carries it round and picks up P3. Osborne couldn't respond. Vlad Tokarev, 6th, currently behind Daniel Hurlock. The pair of them slowly pulling away there from Wilson a little bit. The gap has massively closed up between them and the battle between Luke Mitchell, Jordan Osborne, which is still raging on. They are bumper to bumper. Two Titans here having a good old duel from previous season and moving it over into the next one for good measure. Hurlock still defending. Osborne looming large in the rear view there of Mitchell. Can he get it down the inside? Oh, it's close. It's bumper to bumper stuff. Osborne will have the shorter run. He might get an advantage, but Mitchell should be able to carry some momentum. Doesn't look as though he did all that much. Osborne back through. And now Mitchell's going to have to keep an eye on the rearview mirror. He's got Daniel Hurlock right behind him. They had a battle in the previous round. Hurlock came out on top on that occasion. How's it going to be here for round 2? But first of all, we need to see what's happening here between Osborne and Mitchell. Osborne finally not able to hang on to the position. Mitchell through into turn number 1. Hurlock now going to try and his luck around the outside of Jordan Osborne. Can he get the slipstream? Can he get the power down? Through turn 3, up to the chicane. And there they go, down the inside goes Mitchell, holding the position. Osborne couldn't get it around the outside. This has allowed Hurlock, though, to get a good exit. He's going to be down the inside into the first Lesmo. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, you get the corner. And once again, prevailing that theory, Hurlock through on Osborne. Osborne's going to try it into the second Lesmo. Lesmo! Oh my God. I'll never live that one down. And look at these 3 bumper to bumper. It's going to be door to door now. Osborne very much under pressure. Vlad going to try and get alongside, but Wilson right there, sort of boxing them in a little bit. Vlad just about getting in front though. Osborne hangs on to 5th, Tokarev 6th, Wilson 7th, Hurlock is 4th and behind Luke Mitchell. These guys had a all race long battle for round number 1. It's going to be a rematch here of round number 2 and the roles have been reversed for it. Kappa has slowly been losing ground to Gravette in second, 1.3 the gap with just less than 2 minutes left to go though. I think that could be all she wrote on that race, but you never know until that checkered flag drops. The gap between Gravette and Mitchell now, 7.5 seconds. Going to be some monumental comeback to see that gap close. I don't think we're going to see it, but the battle for this 3rd place is still very much on. Luke Mitchell holds it for the time being the lead car of this small train. Hurlock 4th, Osborne 5th. Tokarev is 6th, Wilson 7th. Axon has caught back up to that group. He's 8th. As we jump on board here forward to Chris Gravette, 2nd place behind Alessandro Kappa. The gap now 1.1 seconds. Are we going to see one more lap or is this the final one? There's a yellow flag, but for who? It's disappeared already. I'm not seeing any names drop down the order. Down the back straight they go, under the old banked curving of the oval circuit into Ascari, and this battle's still raging on. You can see there Mitchell leading, Hurlock still, Osborne the 2nd part of this train, Vlad Tokarev 6th, Wilson 7th. Everyone's been struggling to get past Osborne this evening. He's been doing a stellar job for the team and for his racing chances as well. Absolutely monumental stuff. And this is the gap to the front though. Alessandro Cappa led from turn number 1, got a brilliant start. The clock has counted to 0. That was the final lap up to the start-finish line, and Alessandro Cappa is going to win the second round here for the T6 Touring Championship. Chris Gravett will have to settle for second place, but he won't be too discouraged by that. What a way to celebrate for Cappa. Mitchell holds on to third, and Daniel Herlock 4th. Osborne a magnificent 5th in the end, with Vlad Tokarev 6th, Wilson 7th, Axon 8th, Temenga 9th, and Christian Diaz-Emil is rounding out your top 10. Bruno Rejo 11th, Zerwes 12th, Nick Lowe is 13th, Simon Trebek 14th, here comes Roman Barthez for 15th, and the final point scoring, Riley Koenig unable to score a point just outside that. Basti Shrahe 17th, Radio Uhalau 18th, and here comes then Fabian Michelon for 19th. Other cars there were lapped, so they would have finished their race already. We'll get the full rundown, I'm sure, before the very end. And fair play to Fabian, who he's had to do the rest of that race without a rear wing. Not that you need, he might have actually improved on the straights. Either way, crosses the line to finish. Well done, everyone. Fantastic driving out there. What an amazing result for some of these drivers so early on in the championship. Who knows how this is going to end up? And Monza, well, what a venue to open off the T6 Msport Touring Championship. Alessandro Cappa picks up his first win of the championship as well. Chris Gravett will settle for second, and Luke Mitchell rounds out that podium. Daniel Herlock, Jordan Osborne, Vlad Tokarev, Callum Wilson, Alan Axon, Anton Temenga, and Christian Diaz-Emil, your top 10. And then we get to Bruno Reino, David Zerwes, Nick Lowe, Simon Trebek, and Roman Barthez round out your points finishers. And then we have Riley Koenig, Basti Shrahi, Radio Uhalau, Fabian Michelon, and Fraser Hart 19th, 20th, round out up top 20. And 21-26, Wilhelm Westerhoff, Carlo Messina, Yaroslav Fies, Michael Clough, and then I think 2 DNFs there of Emmanuel Biboloni and Francesco Caravello. Fantastic opening segment to this championship. I'd like to thank our sponsors once again of Demon Tweaks and Phoenix Sim Racing. And when we return in a fortnight's time for the next rounds 3 and 4, it will be this fabled circuit here. It feels like a go-karting track, but it is of course the Hungaroring in Hungary. And I couldn't think of another fantastic circuit to go to. But if you're missing racing action and can't wait a fortnight, do not worry, because in 1 week's time, we will be here live once again. Not for the touring cars, but for the Porsche Cup. So don't go anywhere. 1 week's time, you will still be seeing some cars on the circuit for another amazing championship and calendar they have lined up for that series. My name is Ashley Denman. Rich has been behind the scenes, keeping everything running. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all have enjoyed it as much as I have. And in a fortnight's time, we hope to bring Darragh Thacker back as well. Thank you very much, everybody, and bye-bye.